All right, everybody, welcome back. We've got another awesome conversation here today. So it's almost back by popular demand, right, Jace? After how well the Instagram video did and how well the YouTube video did, I think that it was only necessary, I guess, that we brought you back on. And I think today's video is going to be really awesome. We're going to be very direct with our topic, and we're going to talk about specifically how you, at such a young age, under 20 years old, actually almost 19, have been able to not only find consistency, but you've also managed, and this is what I was saying before we got on the call, you've managed to really level up your mindset over even just the last couple of months. And I want you to share with the audience some of how you've done that. So before we get into everything, you want to say hello to everybody and introduce yourself?
Yeah, so I'm Jase Brown on Instagram. People also call me Jason. That's actually my real name on the birth certificate. So yeah, I've been trading for about 3 years. Got into whenever I was 15 into Forex, and it was a long, really long journey for me. But I found consistency with Ace Specs. I found consistency in in Austin systems. So yeah.
Cool. And a lot of people have seen your testimonial, and a lot of people have actually been reaching out to you because they see so much more of themselves almost in you. You're so relatable at such a young age. Because dude, like I'm not much older than you, but I still see myself in you. I remember when I was 19 and I just found trading, and I was not sleeping like you're doing, and you're just going so hard at it. And I think that that does lead to a lot of growth, but it also takes a little bit of being uncomfortable, takes a little bit of sacrifice. And I think that you've embodied that really well. So talk to us recently. Give us kind of an update since maybe even you made that testimonial video a couple months ago. What's really going on in your head?
Mentally, I'm really in a great place. Like whenever I get into trades, I'm not emotional. I'm doing really well with the systems. Like I backtest a lot, like all my time, like 3 to 4 hours every single day, markups after markups, and that just helps me so much better to have like so much confidence in the system, so much confidence whenever I get into a trade. And it's just, I'm literally in the best place in my trading career that I've ever been in my life, which is insane. Like all these 3 years of hard, insane work, and then right now, like I'm in the right place where
It
like
pays
I'm
off.
pays off. It really does.
So what have you been doing recently, I guess, as you've been kind of, it's like almost like you start running, right? And like when you first start running, it's tough, like to actually get the momentum going. But then once you start rolling, you're like, all right, I feel pretty strong now and I can actually go. So maybe can you give us what, like on a daily basis, are you doing to now maintain this feeling, this clarity that you see in front of you as you show up every day?
So my why. I was talking to Riley, about 2 months ago, a month ago, about
Mhm.
what really is like my motivation, my why. And number one thing is, I want to help people out. I want to help people become profitable traders. I want to, help people, achieve financial freedom. And number two is just, you know, creating like creating like a little creating success for you, for your legacy, for your family. And
Yeah.
like, no one's gonna build that except for you. So that just puts me in the perspective of my mind, like, like I can do this. Like no one's stopping me to become successful, to make a ton of money. Just me.
The only person stopping you is you,
Yeah, it's
right?
just me
The only
waking
person
up
that would
every
get in the
day.
way is you deciding that you're not going to take the actions necessary. So what, other than your why, and I guess I know Riley has really done a lot of work. You guys have done a couple of calls together to tap into that. Other than that, is there anything specifically that like maybe are you, I know you said you were doing like 20 markups a day or something like that recently, like a lot of chart markups too, right?
Yeah, I do like 15, 20, probably sometimes 30 whenever the market's like, there's a lot of like setups. Then I go
Mhm.
through like indices. I have to go through see if there's any D1s, D2s on the indices as well. And then I also go over like, futures, a little bit of futures, maybe oil, WTI, whatever. So yeah, that is a big portion, as well as, journaling my trades. That's something that I've been doing, and it's been going pretty
What
well.
do you do for the journaling? Like specifically, are you doing it before the trade, during the trade? What are you doing for that?
Oh, I do it after the trade. But I
Okay.
usually like whenever like I'm in a trade, I try to at least like mark something up where like, my process of what, what I'm doing right now in that trade. Like am I,
Sure.
I'm currently up 1 hour, and then I'm locking the stop as soon as it hits 2 hour or something like that. So yeah.
That makes sense.
Um,
That makes
and then
sense.
as well as just basically just research, like studying a lot. Like that's, I think, one of the biggest parts to become profitable, in my opinion. It's just studying, studying, studying. Because, like, honestly, this is like school. Like for me, it's literally like school. Like I'm going over the things, I'm studying, studying, and then I have the test whenever I go live in the markets, and I ace it. So Like it's just basically like you have to put in the work. You have to, spend, hours a day, just studying them up, and then, taking the test whenever the market's live.
If you could go back to when you first started and you look at yourself, like imagine looking in a mirror and seeing yourself when you first found out what Forex was, what would be the one thing you would tell yourself?
Man up. Like this is the future. You could do whatever you want to do if you just put your mind into it. Like no one's stopping you. There's no one on earth trying to stop you to becoming a profitable trader. You can do that. Like you can become a profitable trader by just putting your mind into it, by putting all your effort and work and hard work into it. There's nothing stopping you. I don't care if like you failed college or you failed high school, or you're not the smartest dude. You can still become a profitable trader. You don't have to have a degree to become a profitable trader. And like as a 15-year-old, you know, I was motivated. Like I wanted to become a profitable trader, and some people were, I guess, demotivating me and pushing me down, saying that I'm too young for that. But like if I saw myself back then, I would have told them like, just do it. Who cares what they think? It's
Right.
it's your money, it's your success. And if you make it, you can just rub it in their faces like me now.
Well, it's tough because when you're coming up on that, you're gonna hit losses, and when new traders come into losses, they always tend to kind of backpedal. Maybe they second guess it. I was on a call with one of our newer guys today, and we were talking about if he's having second thoughts, and it's something that I think a lot of traders will touch, and I think you and I both have been there. So, and you called it, what did you call it, the dark zone, right? So
Dark
how
zone, yeah.
as that as traders come into this and they're going to encounter that dark zone, what have you really done over the last couple of months or weeks that's helped you stay out of it, not just push through it but stay out of it?
Positive thinking. Like that's something where
Yeah.
your mind is the worst enemy for you. Like in my
Yeah.
opinion, where
Yep.
it's such a big factor when it comes to trading. When it comes to trades, like you lose on a winner, and you're like, and your mind just says, "Oh, bro, like, come, why'd you lose on that? That's the worst thing that possible. Like, you suck. Like, you suck as a trader. Like, this isn't meant for you." And like, you just have to like be self-aware and like, no, like, no, like, this is, yeah, it was a stupid winner, but I'm gonna do better next time. That's what I do. So, it's just being positive thinking. And like, I don't know, since I'm in the military right now, I've incorporated this kind of mindset where kind of like where like my mind tells me something, but I tell it something else. Like, I remember when it comes into like breakups or whenever it came down to like, I don't want to do something, like, I don't want to go to the gym today. Like, I'm tired. I'm thrown. But then I have my mindset where like, no, you're going to the gym today. You're going to put that 2 or 3 hours of work, and then you're going to finish up your markups and do the tuning on work. Like, it's just like your mind is trying to get you down. Like, it's trying to make you unsuccessful. It doesn't want you to become successful. But, like, you're pushing it. Like for me, like my mindset is pushing it. I have to keep pushing. I have to keep pushing, no matter how tired I am, no matter like if I'm I'm hungry or something like that. Just keep pushing, and that has helped me extremely a lot with everything in my life, whether that's trading, whether that's my business, whether that's with going to the gym. Just having that mindset where like just push through it. Like just even though you have these losses, even though you're not having the greatest week, just push through it. It's nothing is forever. And if you just push through it and be positive, to be self-aware, then it should turn out really well for you. So yeah.
You said that, and I like that you mentioned the self-awareness. And you've been reading a couple of different books too about self-awareness, trying to learn more about how you can control your thoughts, right? And I know Riley's talked to you about that, and a couple of other people in our chat also push a lot of that stuff because I think it is important to become aware of what you're thinking about so you can control it. Her brother actually had a really good reference as he's been doing meditation now for the first time and really trying to control his thoughts more. He said he sees it like an old CD player almost, where not a CD player, but like almost like a jukebox, maybe is what he meant, where he would see the thought and he would be able to literally see it as a separate bubble and move it over and then not think about it anymore and switch into a positive perspective. And I feel like that is that third person awareness that you're talking about, where you can see
Yeah.
it, you can know how, and again, even to the extent of what you said, where you would know that I don't want to do that, but then you would tell yourself to go do it anyway. Like that is coming, I think, full circle on your own self-awareness. And that goes to what I make it in my own head. I say, just do it because no one else is doing it. That's what motivates me. I'm like, if no one else is doing it and I'm doing it and it feels good and it makes me better, and I know the facts are that it's better for me to get on the treadmill, I'm going to go on the treadmill. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
I can relate to that so much. When you think about the losses that you've encountered as you have gone from like those levels of trading that we talk about where you're just throwing trades around and then you kind of find a system and then you kind of find consistency and then you understand how you have to put risk management into it to come full circle. How have you, how has your mindset changed towards losses over your trading career so far?
Um, it just I don't know. It's kind of weird because like back whenever I was like about yeah, last year around the beginning of the year where I had like these big losses, it was like whenever I had those losses, like it was like I don't know, it was just hard. Like
Right.
looking at that number, that negative
You
number, and
question your like your whole life.
like I could have
Yeah,
used that money for something else, or like what is wrong with me? How did I lose that much money? Like
sure.
it puts you in a different perspective. And I had such a bad and dark time during the beginning of last year where like I had to push myself to, I guess, being numb to the losses. Not really like it's just a number on the screen. Like it's not physically like, I guess, money. Like there's not money on your table or whatever. And I just have
Hmm.
to like change my perspective, like just money on the screen, and know that I have to be better next time. And it's basically numb. So whenever I do take losses, right, like today or the few losses that I have, like it comes numb to me. Like it doesn't really affect me at all. Like just a number on the screen. It's just the part for the process in trading, part of the game in trading. It doesn't really affect me at all, but in the beginning it did for sure. And like I think back last year in the beginning, like once I had those losses and that dark time, I started to, I guess, numb that out, numb those losses, numb that pain that I had, and just basically, whenever I'm getting into trades, it's part of the process. Just go over it. Hey, I lost maybe 2%, 3%, and 4% today. Just go over your losses, be better next time, and like don't be a baby about it. Like yeah, it sucks, but there's nothing you could do once you after the loss. Like there's nothing that you could do, no negative thinking or anything like that.
No, and I think that's a really great way to look at it. But I'm going to play the other side of that for a second. If you're numb to it without trading within a system, if you're numb to it at that point, then you're going to either
Oh
flatline and come lower. So all of what you said is true if you have a system. So for everybody watching, like Jase has really come full circle on implementing rules and having a checklist of systems that he's going to use every day to find the highest probability trades. If you do that, then of course what he's saying is correct. And it is good to be numb to the losses and the winners. And again, I've been busy today. I've had a couple of calls, but I had another one with one of our other new guys, a separate conversation. And just explaining to him how on Monday, GJ, everybody was making money on GBP. I have, everybody was making money GBP this week. As great as that can feel, I was explaining to him that like new traders will ride that high and get so excited and then forget all their rules and throw all that money right back into the market in a bad trade setup. So it's important to really push the point, and you get it because you lived through it like I have, where you come from not understanding to understanding. You have to really detach from the outcomes. Can't ride the highs, you can't ride the lows, you can't go to the dark zone. If you have a system, you have to stay on that system, stay on those rules, and that's where you found consistency. That's where we're seeing everybody else find consistency, right?
And that's 100% right. Like you just have to, like, it's part of the process. You win, you lose. Like you know yeah, whenever you win, you're a bit happy because like I made money today. I got some green buckets today. So it's just like it's just a part of the process where like even when I win 3 or 4% in a day, like it's, yeah, I'm happy about it, but it's part of the process where like I don't like let my emotions cloud me. Like, oh, I made more money, I made so much money on this trade, maybe I should go jump into another trade and make even more money or something like that. Like just part of the process. I win or lose.
Steps.
That's, yeah. Hmm.
Yeah,
For
one
sure.
trade at a time. It's just like let's just take it one at a time because I feel like you have a good group of people in front of you where all of us, even me only being a few years older than you, up to like the guys like Shaba and Kareem that are way older than us. You have a bunch of people telling you that if you can get your system right, if you can get your process right, you have so much time in front of you. It's literally like almost impossible for you to fail. So for so many traders, and I feel like now more than ever, new people are getting involved in trading because of the virus lockdown and because of them wanting to make money from home. You have even younger people coming into it. What would be like the one thing you would tell a 15-year-old person, 16-year-old boy or girl coming in, just seeing Forex on Instagram or just seeing one of our videos on the internet? What would you tell them uh, to do or to avoid? You can pick as they come into Forex.
So first of all, subscribe to Austin Silver on YouTube because there's a lot of dope content. Second of all,
Yeah, bro.
second
Shameless
of all,
plug. I love it.
second of all, just basically making sure that you have the right content, the right education, the right. Don't go into YouTube searching insane best strategy to make a lot of money or best scalping.
Forex Holy Grail signal system.
Yeah, just make sure that you have a proper education because that's, in my opinion, the most important thing when it comes to trading. Like this is a game where 90% of people lose. 90%
Hmm.
of people, and you cannot be like going all about it like, oh, I can learn this on myself and I could win by myself by going through YouTube videos and babypips.com. Like you have to know this is a game where 90% of people lose, and you have to be that 10% that gets a proper education, that a proper system, so you can be consistent and profitable. So and what I would just say to them, find the right mentor, find the right education system for them. Don't try to, I guess, invest into someone who just wants to flex money and like has a Lambo and everything like that. Because in my opinion, this is just my opinion. I feel like they don't really care a lot about like those traders. They don't really want to help them out as much as other people want, like the generous people. So I would just
Sure.
recommend investing into someone who actually wants to help you out, not into someone who just wants to, get the money, have money, get your money for like the courses or whatever and stuff like that. So yeah,
No, and I totally agree with everything that you're saying. Do you feel like going forward, you have something in front of you and in this trading business and in your plan that is timeless, like that you could adapt and change what you need to, but you basically feel like it's like riding a bike, like you're never going to not be trading? Is that where you're at this point?
yeah, I'm literally that's exactly where I'm at. That's the perfect annotation that where I'm at, where I feel like I'm riding the trading, like the trading train, where I'm, like I'm, if and there's a process, and then like I have systems, like I have your system, the A1 D1 system, and I have also a personalized system toward the Ace effect system, and it just like adapting to market conditions, adapting to whatever, and just becoming a better trader every single day, every single month, every single year. It's just
What
like
would you say?
trading is.
No, I'm sorry, I don't mean to cut you off, but you made me think of a good question. What would you say to somebody who's like 35 and listening to this and like, okay, so yeah, of course this kid can figure it out. He knows technology, he gets it. I'm never going to figure out trading. What would you say to somebody like that? I'm curious to know.
I mean, like that's just an excuse in my opinion. Like my
True, that
parents
goes back to
are
what you said
learning.
already. You're like, how bad do you want it?
I know my parents are literally 60 years old. My dad's 60 years old, and he's investing into forex, investing into stocks. My mom's like 40, and she's doing the same. Like, there's no excuse for that. If you really want it, if you really want success, if you really want money, there's no excuse for it.
And it's more than that too. It's like I think a lot of people will look at you as a young kid and they'll be like, "Oh, I'm so old, I can't figure it out." But like, look at the time frame in which you've figured it out to the extent that you have. And again, I mean, we're never going to claim we've got it figured. We've got a system that works and that makes money, a couple of them, and that's it. Like that's all that it is. It's not some, you know, like literally, I do believe we could put the system out for free and most people would still lose money. 90, like you said, 90%. I do believe that because it's tough. We're telling people to come into this and they're going to have to break a lot of the biases. They're going to have to become very self-aware to know how to act as traders because it's completely separate from everything else. Like I'm literally telling you, detach from the outcome. We're humans. We're literally built to act and then receive
React.
reward and then hope that something happens, you know what I mean, comes back to us. So to not care about the outcome of our actions is like breaking our DNA. So it's
Hmm.
very difficult for a lot of people to become consistent.
Sure.
But I feel like for people that are watching, you're a motivating piece in this business because there's a lot of new guys that come in, they find IML, they find the internet stuff, they get caught up in it, and they forget that there's a real side to trading. And you're one of those few that's popped through and realized that there's a big, big business out here that you can be a big fish in a bigger ocean of. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, for sure. 100% agree with that. It just comes down to like, I guess, just putting the process and consistency to it, because again, like psychology for me was the biggest issue when it came to my trading. Like I'm an emotional guy. I've always been an emotional guy since I was
Me
young,
too.
and
Me
like
too.
and like literally just riding the whip. Oh, GBP USD is freaking going through the roof. I should sell. I should sell, or like I should buy it, or whatever. Like, or gold is going up. I should buy it, or whatever. Bitcoin's falling. Oh, I'm panicking, or something like that. It's
Right.
just like there's so much emotions coming to trading, and for me, it was a big struggle. especially like, in the beginning when I was 15 and 16, and I was still developing. I'm a kid, like
Right.
I know like I was like really smart back then, but again, like I was still a kid, and I haven't even had my first kiss at 15, like
Right.
literally.
Right. But it's
It's
crazy
just
because now you can be 18 and have 3 years of experience under your belt that now you don't have to go through when you're 25 or 35 or whatever. And that's why I I do believe that now we're going to see more and more people, like I said, get into trading, and more young people want to start trading. And that's why it's put you in now in a position to coach and educate other people and share this information with them. And I think that that's a big motivator for you. You said already, isn't it?
oh yeah, it is. It's one of the biggest motivators for me
Is that just
because
because you want to be the person that like you never had, or is it deeper than that? What other reason is it?
it's so much deeper that it comes into like, I guess, me as a person. Like I I'm I'm a leader. Like I want to help people out. It's just it's also with like joining the military as well. I've always wanted to join the military since I was a kid, and that just I want a bigger purpose in life. I want to serve others. I want to help others, and I want to just serve my country. And it just comes all down to serving people. I want to serve people. I feel like I was meant to come into the to serve other people and help other people.
Make other
So
people's lives better.
yeah, for sure. So that's just like my biggest motivator. And as well as, back in, I used to be with a bunch of IMO companies. There's an AI software, EA Economy, AI Global, Silver Star Live. And I was part of these companies where they were making money. Like these, people were all older people. I was hoping they'll make money from these softwares or whatever. A complete scam. Don't, none of you guys like get into the softwares.
100%.
Um, and like, it's just like, having these people, I guess, tell me like how much I changed their lives, even though I was like 60 back then. I really didn't do much, but just having them like say that like I changed their lives, or I made them feel better, or I made a slight improvement in their life. That it's so like it's so heartwarming. Like it makes me want to do more. It makes me want to help people more about that. And I feel like that's one of the true purposes of me like being here in this earth, to help people out, to help them become financially successful. Because again, there's a lot of people struggling. Like my parents came from a different country. They had literally nothing in their pockets, and like they built their wealth here with not they couldn't even speak English whenever they first came here. So it's just like a
Wow.
big motivation for me to like I want to help people out. Like I know a lot of people are struggling, in this earth, and I know that financially, like a lot of people are struggling, and I personally want to help them out as much as I can. I want to, know that trading is something that, yeah, it's hard and it's going to be like a long journey for some people, but if you put in the hard work, if you put in the consistency, I promise you, like it's going to turn out okay. Because like hard work, like if you work hard and you stay consistent, like this is just my personal opinion, but nothing comes like everything literally comes from hard work and consistency. Like whenever I
Because if
was a
it
kid,
didn't, everyone would have it.
yeah,
It's that
exactly.
simple.
Like,
Yeah.
like it's just like whenever I was 15 years old or 16 years old, whenever I went to the gym, like it's just that consistency and hard work that made me like be a buff little kid or whatever. So
Yep.
it's just
Yep.
like
Yep.
just that hard work consistency. Like everyone like knows that if you want to be successful, you have to put in the work for it. Like you need to want it really bad. And like if I can help people um do that and become successful with that, like that's my mission. That's
Dude,
my
but
ace in life mission.
you're in a really cool spot because not only are you motivated to help people, and when you share that, it's motivating to me. Like, you know what I mean? I want to see you help people, but you actually have a skill that can help people financially. It's not like you're just getting on stage and you're going to yell at them and motivate them and make them feel good, which is great. Like Tony Robbins, it's great. But Tony Robbins doesn't teach you how to actually make money. He just has tips and tricks. This is real deal shit. So it's almost more impactful than that. That's how much potential I see in you and a lot of the other people that we work with as coaches. Because I think we're headed towards this digital age, right? Where we are going to really see more people than ever before want control over their money. And now you're in a position not to give them the holy grail, not to give them the $1 million, but you're in a position to say, look, if you want to take the driving wheel, if you want to take the reins, I can show you how to do that. And that's a powerful position. So as we're coming to the end of our conversation, I think this was really, really good. I'm excited to see the feedback for this. I'm going to put your links in the description. If you can send them to me when we get off the call, send me all of the information that you want people to have so they can get in touch with you. Because I'm sure some people are listening. They're going to want to book one of your free calls and get on the phone with you just to hear more about trading and how you are making money on a daily basis. So if there's anything you want to leave us with, send us out, Jase.
All right, guys. So, all my young people, 16, 17, 18-year-olds out there, even my 30-year-olds, 40-year-olds, doesn't matter. If you guys really are interested in trading, if you guys really have, I guess, that motivation, that hard work that you want to put into, your life, where, hey, like I want to make a second source of income, or I want to, know that, hey, this can work, but it may take long, hard work and like a long journey for it. I'm willing to put in the hard work for it. Then, hit me up. I'm willing to help anyone out. Austin is here to help you out as well. He's a really great friend, really great mentor. I've never saw anyone work as hard as him in my life. And yeah, guys, I'm gonna leave off with that.
Thank you, brother. I appreciate it. YouTube community, drop the comments. Let us know what you want Jason and I to cover in the next video, and we'll see you guys in the next one.